Hello students, today we will be going over 12.5 day 2. There are two criteria that do not prove triangles congruent. They are angle, angle, angle. In other words, if I have two triangles, say this one's an equilateral triangle and this one's an equilateral triangle, we could say that all of these angles are congruent at 60 degrees. But is this triangle congruent to that triangle? No, it is not. So that does not prove congruence. So if you see angle, 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 that does not prove that the triangles are congruent, okay? They could be, but you can't prove that they are. Not being able to prove congruence does not mean the triangles are not congruent. It just means that it cannot be proved congruent, okay? So the other one, besides angle, 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 is side, side angle. So if I say that you have ABC there and another PQR there, notice the side lengths are congruent. One, if these two side lengths are congruent, and this one side length is congruent to that one, and these angles are congruent, all right, this last side can be out or it can go in like that one. And that means you cannot use side, side angle. And if you reverse that, you have A, and then you have two letters there, and there's no swearing in math. So if you ever see side, side angle, flip it around and you see that word, you know, we can't use that because we don't swear in math. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. Okay, we're going to go on to number 2. Now, we see that these two angles right here are congruent. This side is congruent to that side. And we're not given any other information. So we don't know if these two lines are parallel. We don't know if any other angles are congruent. So if we only know two things, then we cannot prove congruence right here. Okay, so only two things, you cannot prove congruence, and you don't need to fill any of that out because there's no way to prove congruence when you only know two things about the triangles. You need to know at least 3 things. Okay? And again, that's number 2. We're going to go on to the next page. And do number 10. So we're going to jump clear to page 255. So this is page 255. Now, we look and we see, oh, that one has a right angle, so we know that's congruent to that. And this side is in both of them, so it's congruent. And then the next thing, so side, angle, next we have another angle. Or angle right here is congruent, side, angle. So can we use angle, side, angle to prove that they're congruent? Let's see. Our statement's over here. And I'm going to move this down just a little bit. We can prove that they're congruent. So our criteria is going to be, what did we just say? Angle, side, angle. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and fill this out. We need to prove what angle's congruent, what side's congruent, and then what angle is congruent. Okay, so our first angle, we want to say HLG, HLG is congruent to angle KGL. And again, you follow along on the lines there, and you know that we're talking about this one here and that one there. Why do we know that they're congruent? Because it is given. Okay, so those angles are congruent because it's given. Now, why is this side congruent? Because it's the reflexive property. It's the same line. So we say LG is congruent to LG. And that's the reflexive property. Hopefully you can see down that far. The last one has to be your last angle. So back up here, I'm going to say this angle HGL. That's the middle one right here, and I want to make sure it's this side, one with the two arches right there. So I'm going to say, and I'm going to write it over here, angle HGL is congruent to angle KLG. Nope, that's not right. Because G is in the middle, so we're talking about this one, so we need to talk about that one. Angle KLG. And why? That is also given. So that is our reason over there for saying that is congruent, because if you have two arches here and two arches there, it's pretty much given that they are congruent, okay? All right, students, you can get the rest of these. You rock.